We begin CBS2 News at 11 with breaking news. A boat crash leads to a rescue in Huntington Beach, and Stu Mandel is overhead in Sky 2. Stu.
That's right. That small boat you see there in the center of the screen, not the one leaving, actually was involved in that crash. 2 people on board. One of them is actually now in critical condition at the hospital. The other one just was being questioned by Orange County Sheriff's Department. This all happening out in the Huntington Harbor area of Huntington Beach. Live in Sky 2. I'm Stu Mandel. Pat, back to you.
Right, thank you, Stu.
Drop the axe!
Shots fired. Shots fired. Everybody stand by. Stand by.
A deadly shootout with a man police say was armed with an axe. CBS 2's Peter Dowd is in the newsroom with the footage that was just made public by LAPD. Peter.
That's right, Pat. Police say it all began with a 911 call about a stabbing inside of a home in Pacoima. And when officers arrived, they made repeated attempts to bring the suspect, 29-year-old Brian Rodriguez, into custody, but he refused to listen. And we want to warn you, the video you're about to see, this body cam footage, is pretty graphic. Officers repeatedly warn him.
You're gonna get tased if you don't listen.
And then they fire the taser. But Rodriguez still refuses to follow their orders, so they fire again.
Hit him with another one. Hit him with another one.
The officers then fire several beanbag rounds at him. But it has little effect. Rodriguez then grabs a potted plant and throws it at the officers, striking some of them in the head.
Get down to your knees. Hey, watch your chair.
Rodriguez then gets on the roof of the home, and officers quickly rescue the wounded victim inside. Moments later, officers say they see Rodriguez grab a pickaxe. He also throws bricks at them. Officers then deploy a 40-milliliter less lethal launcher, which fires a foam projectile that does not penetrate the skin. But Rodriguez still has the pickaxe. After several minutes, Rodriguez goes inside the home and officers lose sight of him. Officers say he later emerges with the pickaxe. They tell him to drop the axe, but instead they say he moves towards them with the axe raised above his head. And that's when the officers shoot him.
Shots fired. Shots fired. Everybody
Officers approach Rodriguez and move the axe away from him. They immediately call for an ambulance, but he dies at the scene. The stabbing victim was taken to the hospital where he was treated and later released. Officers did recover Rodriguez's knife from the scene, and they say he had a very long criminal history, including robbery. In the Satellite Center, Peter Dowd, CBS 2 News.
A teenage boy's arm had to be partially amputated this afternoon after he was pinned under a boulder in Laguna Beach. The 15-year-old was exploring the rocky coast of Emerald Bay when the giant boulder fell right on top of him. He is expected to recover. Well, driving around on concert nights is a nightmare in the Hollywood Bowl area. Residents have long complained about the traffic, and tonight the city finally heard them. CBS 2's Crystal Cruz is live near the bowl. Crystal.
Hi, Pat. The big show tonight, Seal, well, that is done. And look behind me, you can see traffic backed up here. So drivers might not like this new plan, but people who live in this neighborhood, well, they're liking it a lot. A big show tonight at the Hollywood Bowl. A lot of traffic moving along Highland, and there's traffic closures that neighbors are divided on.
And look around, because people are saying hello, neighbors are saying hello to neighbors, we're petting each other's dogs.
A pooch party in the street would have never happened in the past during a show at the Hollywood Bowl because cars would have been driving up and down Camrose near Highland looking for parking.
It's quiet, which is super nice. Usually this entire street is totally backed up and you cannot even get in or out of this driveway.
The Bowl provided parking enforcement to block off Camrose and Milner. No one allowed in or out, not even residents who were asked to use back roads to come and go. What do you have to do right now?
I have to go back up, or I could try to talk my way through.
Go for it.
I'm gonna give it a shot.
Minutes later, the rideshare driver was back, denied.
They didn't let me through. They won't even let local traffic through. It's kind of messed up.
And back out here live, you can see the traffic bunched up tonight. This pilot program will run through the end of summer, and that is when the city will make a determination. I'm Crystal Cruz, live in Hollywood tonight. Back to you, Pat, in the studio.
All right, thank you, Crystal. Well, President Trump is now saying he blames Vladimir Putin for Russia meddling in the election. He made the comments during an exclusive interview with CBS News anchor Jeff Glor. CBS2 political reporter Dave Ryan has more. Dave.
Pat, President Trump told CBS News tonight that no president ever has been as tough on Russia as he has. And he said he told Vladimir Putin at the summit that Russian election meddling would not be tolerated.
Very strong on the fact that we can't have meddling.
President Trump in an exclusive interview with the CBS Evening News describing what he says he told Vladimir Putin during their one-on-one meeting in Helsinki about Russian meddling in American elections.
I let him know we can't have this. We're not going to have it.
And for the first time, the president told Evening News anchor Jeff Glor not that he does, but that he would hold Vladimir Putin personally responsible for that meddling.
Well, I would, because he's in charge of the country, just like I consider myself to be responsible for things that happen in this country. So certainly, as the leader of a country, you would have to hold him responsible, yes.
Despite some doubts expressed by President Trump, his director of national intelligence, Dan Coates, says it's clear the Russian meddling continues to this day.
The warning signs are there. The system is blinking, and it is why I believe we are at a critical point.
Coates says the threat is ongoing. Do you agree with that?
Well, I'd accept him. I mean, he's an expert. This is what he does. And if he says that, I would accept that. I will tell you, though, it better not be. It better not be.
Glor asked the president about criticism from some in his own party that he wasn't tough enough on Putin during their summit news conference about Russian election meddling.
After Helsinki, Lindsey Graham said you showed weakness.
I totally disagree. I think I did great at the news conference. I think it was a strong news conference. You have people that said you should have gone up to him, you should have walked up and started screaming in his face. We're living in the real world, okay?
Now, the president also accused the media of putting a completely false face on the Helsinki summit, turning a very successful and productive meeting, he said, with Vladimir Putin into national outrage at his misunderstood comments on Russian meddling. Pat, back to you.
All right, thanks for that, Dave Ryan. Well, tonight, a David Goldstein investigation. Questions being raised about a city employee who got his second DUI after crashing a city truck. And David's here with the story. And David, you say that he's still on the job.
Still on the job, still driving trucks for the city. Now, this happened in the middle of the night while the employee wasn't even on duty, and he may not have even had permission to use the truck. But 3 months after the incident, the city has taken no action. This is what's left of a truck rented by the city of LA that you paid for. How did it happen?
You had a DUI and you flipped it on the freeway.
That's right. This sanitation worker, Adrian Corrales, who normally drives a small garbage truck, was charged with DUI after crashing this truck on the freeway at 3 o'clock in the morning. City officials say his normal hours are 6 a.m. to 2:30 in the afternoon.
Did you have permission to take that truck?
He wouldn't answer. From our drone, you can see what's left of this $50,000 truck. It was rented by the city of LA. We found it now in a city salvage yard. The city seal is attached right over the Hertz logo. You can see the airbags deployed, tire missing, damaged beyond repair. And since the city is self-insured, taxpayers will have to foot the bill and reimburse Hertz. The cost, $28,000. It's one of millions of dollars of trucks that the city rents to supplement its fleet. But we found in an investigation last year, some employees are driving the rentals for their own use, like this man, Francisco Pena.
Did you get a massage and you used the city truck?
City officials say Pena no longer works for the city.
What right do you have because you're an employee? You just get to grab a truck that's rented by taxpayers?
In Corrales' case, the accident happened on the 5 freeway back in April. He allegedly flipped the truck, then slammed into the safety barrels on the side of the road. Court records show he had a blood alcohol concentration that was 0.15% or more. That's almost twice the legal limit. He's due in court next month to enter a plea. And it's not his first DUI. Corrales is charged with driving under the influence of alcohol within 10 years of another DUI offense. That one happened in 2012 before he worked for the city. This one occurred 3 months ago, but guess what? Last week we saw Corrales in his city sanitation uniform, still on the job, still driving trucks.
And how is it that you're still working at sanitation?
He wouldn't answer any questions, so we tried a sanitation official.
He's still employed for sanitation.
Sanitation CFO Lisa Mowry confirms that Corrales is still driving trucks. She wouldn't say if he had permission to borrow that now destroyed truck overnight, and wouldn't say much else.
Is Mr. Corrales under an investigation by the department?
That's a personnel matter and it's not subject to public disclosure.
She admitted the department is looking into it and doesn't see anything wrong with Corrales continuing to drive trucks for the city while awaiting trial on his second DUI offense.
So what you're saying is the City of Los Angeles employee can take a truck, flip it on the freeway with a 0.15 blood alcohol content, his second DUI, and go right back to work?
Our employees have due process.
You ought to be fired. Period. End of sentence.
Political watchdog Jack Humphreyville says Corrales continuing to work could lead to a lawsuit if he gets in another accident, and that could end up costing the city and taxpayers millions.
All you need to do is have some guy driving a city truck when he's schnonked and getting into an accident and really hurting somebody. That's going to be a big ticket.
You got a DUI and you flip the city truck. You're going to pay taxpayers back for that truck, man? Why don't you say anything? Now, the city adds that since DMV hasn't taken away his license, then he's free to drive any city trucks. But some people say at the very least, they could have had him do other things other than driving until this investigation is completed. Pat, back to you.
All right, we know you will be following up with that. Thank you, David. A disabled veteran's car is damaged. The hit and run is caught on camera, running out of options. He calls 2 on your side.
Check your bill. The message: a top chef is leaving diners that has people talking.
Manny Wood 2.0. The Dodgers go all in hopes of a return to the World Series.
Hi, everybody. I'm Garth Kemp. Coming up, it was kind of wild in certain spots today. Will we do a repeat performance tomorrow? I'll show you on the way.
And what would you pay for a piece of TV history? The Brady Bunch house is now on the market. We'll look inside.